amazing matchup against Humble. And they were, like, for me, throughout the course of the year, the team that looked the weakest. But Reject, again, like I said, just been a little bit behind everyone in terms of flashiness. But, I mean, they've already have got so much amazing skill and a massive amount of following on the event site, too, in favor of them over Reply Totem here. Kind of nuts. Yeah, the band's already in. The Ruffs, the Hank, and the Cordelius for Reject then. And the Carl, the Lily, and the Shade for Reply Totem. Whereas like Carl's, they can be wide open. Chuck as well. I feel, you know, that was definitely a map that maybe it's not his best map, but it's a worthy ban nonetheless.
What immediately sticks out to me here, Otis left open, would be my first pick here. A very safe one, just to defend that safe. Barry's going to be the first pick there from Reply Totem. They obviously want to pair it with something aggressive. Barry dishes out a good amount of damage, but if you just want to go for damage, you could also go with a Barley, maybe even a Dynamite. So Barry wants to have a tank by his side.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the Barry. As you say, it can deal damage alone, and to get a lot of it, you only need to throw one on the safe, and you can focus on other things for a decent amount of time. There's the Otis that you mentioned coming in, and along with that, the Melody. Seemingly a very Reject draft this in terms of aggression. Melody just to be able to go straight towards the safe and have a really good time of just getting directly up there with no real fighting needed. But Reply Totem looking to add something to the Berry now. Sonny mentioned they might want to go something a bit more aggressive, you know, something tankier or an assassin or something to go along with it to deal the damage. But Berry can do it alone.
Yeah, the problem now is that with the Melody in play, do Reply Totem hunker down and just commit to a Chuck, because they've got to have that kind of base race idea, deviating away, going with the kit, and also the Nita, which got some good value, I felt, for Revenant now coming in for them to round off their comp. These berry heals not just going to just keep their teammates alive, but also whistle down that safe in a nice way that can allow that safe crack to happen when you're actually being on defense, and that can be so instrumental in Heist now since the rework. A final pick now available for Reject coming in. But I feel like they've got to have something defensive realistically. They've got the aggression of the Melody. The Otis can mute for sure, but that defense is where things are going to have to be all tied up. Griff is a very good brawler for that very reason.
You were talking about defense. I was so ready to shout, oh, RT, easy draft here. But never mind, Griff is going to come in. We did not see him too often. He's strong. He can break open the map. It's going to do well against the Barry and the Kit. And Kit, I'm a little bit scared. We all know how good Kit is on Heist.
Yeah, I think especially in Angel Boy's hands as well, Kit is a real one to be scared of. I think touching on like Griff a little bit as well, is good on defense, good on offense, got the DPS to be able to deal with a lot of things. So I think pretty versatile. And as Sonny mentioned, you're going to be able to break up the map, mold it to how you want it to be. And against the Kit and against the Berry, you don't want a closed map.
Yeah, breaking things open immediately is Shoot, and that's going to be bad news for Maori. Angel Boy attaches immediately to Melty, but Melty gets traded out by Maori. Let's see how much damage Reply Totem can do. Obviously, Nita without the bear is only going to be doing so much. Realistically now, Regis will be cautious to not feed into that.
Yeah, I mean, the Berry's there, and they're just having to play kind of central left. Shoe over here now, but he can't pinch it, he can't do it alone. Maori's just able to throw shot after shot on the safe, and they're choosing to leave him now, and he's going to go super aggressive and super through that to get the damage onto it. And although Reject left him, they've got 0%. They're coming back and defending it now, but they seem so split in their decision-making, and that's cost them 52%.
Yeah, Reject are taking their sweet time to get into this game for sure. Maru coming in now again, no Bruce, but these shots will still be very strong as Maori gets the gadget off the safe, and that's going to be something to dwindle down. Could even crack it. Let's see how low it goes. 27, 25, and that's exactly what Reply Totem need. I
mean, it's really smart from Maori. Didn't need to throw any more shots. Knew it had perfectly burned down to that amount. Need to bear with Hypercharge. Going to come down now, see what Bruce can do to this safe, and eventually the first flick of this safe has been taken down by Melty. Maori coming up now, and Angel Boy will jump directly onto Batman and stop him from getting any further. He did mute Maori, but didn't get any further than that. Hypercharge on the left and a shot thrown onto safe. They're just dwindling it down little by little, and now Maru with Bruce behind him, surely going to be able to get this done. Angel Boy has the jump, and the Berry shot is going to get it done. Reject off to a very slow start, but Reply Totem are going to be more than happy to take advantage.
Yeah, great opening for sure. But Reject do have a strong comp. You know, Melody, if left untouched, if they can find the space to get her to the safe, it can be a very different story. If the Griff can just have more time in the game to open things up further, the Nita is going to struggle. So I feel like it can work, but they are still being so slow to the mark, whereas Reply Totem look like they mean business much more.
Absolutely, Angel Boy down the right side. Super already available, just lurking in this bush. Batman gonna get jumped on, stunned out. That should allow the Needs to come up and finish off that kill. Melty not yet got the supers though. Struggling to get up the map and make use of these musical notes that are circling around him. And already a good amount of damage. Might get down to 75 here, and does, as the first crack has been taken out, and the first one of Reply Totem still remains.
Maris with a very early Bruce Bear. Invisibility for Angel Boy off to the right-hand side. But has been scouted out now by Batman. So Angel Boy goes straight in to be able to secure it. Shielding for Bruce. There's the worrisome thing. The Melody onto the safe now. The Melty's not able to get the most amount of value because the safe was so close to being cracked anyway.
Yeah, those are the disappointing scenarios that he's going to be faced with. Unfortunately, the rest of his team not getting that high up the map. Maru muted here now and forced to have some heals from Berry and sit back just momentarily. Hypercharge available with the Bruce Bear in the pocket as well, so should be able to get them out of this position, but they've got to be very cautious about feeding Melty here. Batman has a Hypercharge ready to go as well, and Maru just holding off on the Bear for now. Maru hypercharging up the left-hand side, and a really good grip super to deal with a couple of them.
A few signs of nerves for me from Reject. Batman shooting the wall, preventing himself from healing up there, so it took a little while longer. The support is there. In terms of the takedown of Angel Boy, as Melty comes in, lands himself onto the safe. Can he crack it down to 50% with the help of Batman? It might be possible. Can he get the shot? He threats the needle. And now that's the key moment in time for Reject to bring this back.
Really nice from Batman here as well. Actually cycled out that super while still using Hypercharge, but chose not to use it. Angel Boy pushing on the right-hand side, might be a bit preemptively, and the mark is placed up to Maru regardless of being immune off the start. Maru coming out with the Bear now, but a lot of damage still raining down from Reject. Maru will go up the left-hand side, try revert some of that pressure onto himself. Bruce Bear coming in now, Faux Fur as well as Maru. Just trying to hide behind it, get towards the safe, but Melty going with a Hypercharge. I think Angel Boy jumped on top of him with that super, and Melty still gets the win in that initial matchup. 23-17 with 20 seconds left.
Absolutely neck and neck. But for Reply Totem, there is someone down there. It's not about getting some damage still. It's down to 6%. And it looks like Reject may have left it. Let's see whether they can be able to secure it. The Hypercharge of Angel Boy gets the stun forwards onto the safe. And Reply Totem will claim the first set over East Asia.
Well, the first game was a lot more convincing than the second. Came down to the wire right at the end there, but luckily a bit of a lingering Barry shot got the job done for Reply Totem. Really strong start from them. Reject, once they kind of got awake and got into the game, they were very much up for possibly getting a couple of wins there. Maru with the 8 kills, Melty and Batman more of the same. Less kills on the Reply Totem side. But that's not the aim of the game in Heist. Get that damage onto the safe, and Maori, the one with 125,000 damage on it across the games.
376 DPS for Batman. Some healthy amount of takedowns as well on the side of Reject. Again, when it comes down to the draft, it's a big factor, and I felt like Reply Totem had a strong one at that. It wasn't unbeatable though, in all honesty, but Reject just seems slow to the mark. A little bit of nerves and mistakes already starting to close in, and they've got to shake them off quick, because for Reply Totem, the loss at the start of today was enough to really start things off strong.
Absolutely. You see Drake pivoting to the fist bumps there instead of the old getting slapped in the face by his teammates this time, which I'm sure he's pleased about. But flying start for Reply Totem here as well. Really nice stuff. Reject, as I've mentioned a couple of times, need to get into this game. And by the end of the set, they seemed a lot more like it. But East Asia have been dropping like flies throughout this competition, yesterday and today, with only Crazy Raccoon really having the massive success. So Reject, for their region and for themselves, need to really switch on here. We've seen Undermine a few times throughout this competition as well. Going to be down to a lot of the turnarounds in this game mode, I feel. And both teams doing a great job of pressure at the moment will be very much in this.
Yeah, certainly for me, a map that can cater to a lot of aggressive ideas. I'm looking towards Lily as well, a brawler which both Reply Totem and Reject really love to get their hands on. Mo is a brawler which does tend to occur here sometimes also. We saw Humble play it in the last series, working out pretty well for them. Jean's a safe pair of hands. Sandy can be fantastic also. And Pam for that mid. I feel like that healing station can bring so much. Ali as well. It really is that Ali map to be able to get back into your spawn, jump over the wall that separates between the map and be able to heal up accordingly, come back in. And that invisibility, of course. You can't turn your back on it.
Definitely so. Well, we are going into Undermine on Gem Grab. So many brawlers can be used here. We saw some incredible plays with so many of them. Good Tara pulls, meatball plays, and they're two of the brawlers that I'd love to see banned out instantly because they've been two of the strongest on this map. But I love the Pam that you mentioned. It's been sliding in a lot on Hot Zone, a lot on Gem Grab. the hypercharger's kind of thrown her back into the mix, and I think that's a really solid thing to have. Ban-wise, as they are in now, the Ziggy, the Ali, and the Sandy out the way for the side of Reject, Lily, Mina, and Ali as well for Reply Totems. The double ban on the Ali, who can blame them at this point? It's been running rampant for quite a large amount of this weekend, and is a really solid brawler if played correctly.
Good stuff for me. Ziggy ban is an interesting one from Reject, but again, with such a new brawler, can't really count it out in that regard, so I'm liking what I'm seeing. No Pan ban though, could be a time to consider it. Pros to be the first pickup for Reject. Kit is open also. It worked out well for Reply Totem in Heist of all game modes, where it's not really my favorite, but it can definitely do some work in this regard. Let's see. Janet's also a possibility. We've seen STMN play so well today, and in Gem Grab, it's her best mode. I wouldn't mind that one at all. Sandy Band's quite key. I like that on the side of Reject. And that is the mode I'm referring to. It's definitely, I think at the moment, one of its better places to come out in the draft.
Yeah, to be fair, we've been seeing a fair amount of Mo, and I'm still yet to be convinced by the brawler entirely, to be honest with you. It's been failing a fair amount. Janet, I think I'm kind of similar on that brawler as well. It's worked really well when paired with the right brawlers. You see it with playing with Doug, while as you just mentioned, by STMN. And it is a solid pairing, that, but really difficult to make work unless you're very attuned to it. We're back over to the Reject side of things now as well. They have the Crow as the first pick. I like it. You're able to scout the lanes, keep that pressure on. The hypercharge jump's really good, and the normal jump as well, just to get you out of these difficult situations. Well, I mentioned it earlier. I thought it was going to be banned, but the meatballs does slip through, and Reject managed to pick it up. Solid brawl to have, an incredible place to be made with the hypercharge.
Yeah, I'm surprised with people though, in the sense that, you know, it's such a, on paper, a fantastic brawler on this map to be able to eradicate the push so swiftly. Just one single green button and you're there, but doesn't get the most play rates actually on Undermine. It's still, for me, a fantastic choice and one that can get some incredible value. Meeple's just catapulted into the forefront of the meta recently. Tara, you know, again, that brawler which can just really be the tide changer. And one gravity can be all it takes between yourself having a lackluster game and being able to get home with all the gems. So I love it for that reason.
Slightly brutal sign there, but won't touch on it any more than that. Tara, obviously, as I mentioned, along with Meeple, as two of the brawlers I expected to be banned, and they've both gone on the Reject side of things. So I really do like their composition. Squeak for the flip side of Reply Totem to round out their composition. I think both sides are pretty good. I do like overall the Reject side of things a bit more. The turnaround capability with the kind of hypercharges and stuff is definitely there. And as you mentioned, the gravity, all it takes is just one good pull with that super to turn the game around. But I mean, I like their confidence to be in control of the whole game.
The Squeak certainly is going to be that control element for Reply Totem. I love where the meta's currently at. It's just opened up a lot of possibilities. Squeak is that brawler. Let's see, Batman immediately then finds Angel Boy. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, but with no super, not much that he's going to be able to do for now. The trade from that left. Shu, though, finds nice positioning on this right, forces Mary to the left, and Mary should be able to push forwards to get that third gem, so he'll keep Reply Totem in the early lead for now.
Yeah, Totem just knowing that he wasn't going to win that right lane, just moves to the left after his teammate gets taken down and make sure they've got the matchups that they want. And you can see Angel Boy already pushing Shu all the way back. Support from Beyond's not going to be as useful against that brawler either, but he just kind of gives it up. Melty throws a few shots his way and he's forced to retreat all the way back to spawn, gets a nice connection there and a super available. I mean, during all this, Maori's managed to get 5 gems over his head and Maru wins the left-hand lane, but it doesn't seem like a lot's happening.
Yeah, just both sides being very cautious around this mid. Just going in for their one gem and coming back to heal. Maori's trying to find something on Melty here. Couldn't do it. Now the defense booster gadget of Melty will allow him to go a bit more on the aggressive. Maori's pinched. That's enough poison to be able to trickle him down.
Yeah, he's going to be very low. Batman overextends though and is going to fall as well. That makes that left-hand lane once more a bit vacant, but Angel Boy going to go over that left-hand side now. Shu has a gravity of his own, so Mori got to be very careful back in this spawn. And he says just one gem off your side and just move back. Shu comes in with a pull now and does get him down. Mary has the jump, or flight, sorry. And Melty manages to get that off the opponent's side, which is going to put them in the lead.
Well, Mary managed to get the pet taken care of, so no more additional heals for Shu. Melty with no help on that left-hand side now is going to be very cautiously treading towards this gem that is on the spawn side of a Reply Totem. Mary has not got super, he's looking to claim it as he's still precarious. Backstage pass gadget ensures his safety.
Yeah, he thought he was going to get 2 there, but he actually didn't even end up getting 1 because the help of Maru was enough to bring him down before he could get any work done. Maru all the way back in spawn now, and Meeple's Mansion will box him up, and he can just fly out of that and try take Batman down. Melty has a jump, 10 gems in hand. Got to be very cautious, but doesn't really feel like there's a lot of pressure on him.
Batman drops the gem. That can be picked up by Reply Totem, and it is into the drill, but no cigar for Maru. Maru's in a really tough spot here, though. He's low HP. He's got to be able to come out here. Gems are surely going to get dropped. Shu going on the aggressive for Angel Boy. Gems in the hands of Maru. Reply Totem are looking like they are starting to fade.
I mean, this is going to be really rough for them. I don't think they're going to be able to come back from this. Still pinned in spawn. And Reject managed to get the game on the board, or the first game on the board in gem grab. Really nice stuff from them. Played it pretty much to perfection, I felt, for a lot of it. Reply Totem kind of scrambling, trying to swap lanes. And sometimes it worked, but the Tara just sitting on the right-hand side is all they need to have the pressure on.
That was the thing for me as well. The mid was just kind of tit for tat, really, is both Reject and Reply Totem taking the gems, but no real sign of getting a real chokehold over Reject. Just mainly lane trades. You do need to have that player advantage to be able to force yourself forwards to ensure those gems towards the end. Melty an early defense to boost the gadget. A good time as well, I feel. 2 gems either side. Shu and Batman now really push this left-hand side in a nice way, taking things horizontal.
Yeah, I mean, they're right behind Maori now, and we see in the spawn, the Mo can't do anything in this situation. Meeple's Mansion comes down, tries to make use of it, but they're still just trying to deal with the Tara, who's managed to go all the way to where they spawn. Angel Boy down the right-hand side, getting hit by a couple of crow shots, but will be scouted out. Batman, slight overextension, and this bomb that Maori's dropping should deal with him quite nicely. Melty, forced left, and Maru looking to try and get that drill form going.
Yeah, great synergy there from Maori and Maru. Maru just forcing the hand there into the line of sight so Maru can pick up the kill. Great positioning there from Angel Boy. He's forced now into the gadget of the Meeple, and that should be big taps from Batman, but he's not actually connecting them either. He's going to stay alive. And now, Reject with Melty. Low HP, that's a big tap from Batman. That will open some space.
Absolutely, Maori forced to jump all the way back. Hope goes for the hypercharge. And doesn't finish off Batman, but he knows his teammate Maru will be able to do just that. Shu at the liberty of these kind of hypercharged bombs dropping, and we've seen quite a few of those missed today, and Maori adds to that with a couple there as well. Maru just on the right hand side, just trying to make something happen, and Batman can just go straight through these walls with hypercharge, and Maori forced to jump all the way back to spawn and able to avoid it.
It's been a really rough game for the Mo. That's a great placement there for Batman as well. It's going to keep Reply Totem back in this spawn at pivotal moments in this game. Gravity for Shu also means that Reply Totem cannot push into it. Angel Boy's doing his best, but really, he needs Maru and Maori to come forward.
Yeah, all 3 of them there, waiting 8 to 9 as Reject have the lead again, and a good pull from Shu once more gets Maru down and starts the countdown. Maori forced to jump all the way back to the right-hand side, and they just need one more from this mid to get it going. The flight comes through, and Melty just jumps back, and Maori knows if he lands on him in that spawn, he's going to die. Shu here with the hypercharged super, and they know they can get nowhere near. Not going to be able to get it from the mid, and the damage comes through. Reject going to be able to pick up Undermine and equalize this score.
A really clutch gem grab from that mid from Melty. And the jump away was timed to perfection. It really was. For Reply Totem now, they've got to up their game as Reject are starting to feel much more comfortable in this regard. That was way better than the first set by a long shot.
Absolutely, they felt half asleep during the first set, and to be fair, they have been waiting for quite a while for their opponents to come down. So, stats-wise, 7 on both Batman and Maru, doing a good job for either side, but Shu following suit with just 6 there. Melty with 2 through the mid, Maori 2, and Angel Boy 3, so not getting the same pressure off that squeak lane as the opponents were with the Tara, and that's made it really rough for them. As I said off the start, and I think you agreed, that draft was really nice, and a couple of brawlers who we usually see banned out on this map, or making the big plays, managed to both go to the Reject side.
It was all about control, wasn't it? And Reject looked much more collected in that regard. Still, again, we mentioned going in about the Mo, we weren't overly sold, and it proved to be the case. It just didn't really kind of bring too much more often than not. Rejects were able to force the hand of Reply Totem, pushing them into the back spawn, buying valuable time from that mid. That's for me where it all came down to things, and as long as Reject were in control, their confidence just seemed to flourish.
Well, 2 down, 3 to go. We're going on to Super Beach in Brawl Ball next, so I feel like I kind of expect that to be a mode that Reply Totem should be able to bounce back quite nicely or not take too much of a hit in mentality and momentum. Should be able to get some games back on the board. So Reject definitely got momentum on their side, but Reply Totem, I feel comfortable coming into Brawl Ball.
It's a very aggressive mode. It can go from bad to worse incredibly quickly as well, so a very important draft to get right. No pressure rage in that regard on the side of Reply Totem. This has got to be a winning one, for sure. But certainly, it's been interesting to see how brawlers like Gale have been coming back a little bit more into Brawl Ball, of course. You know, back in the day, that was always the strat. Corner the ball, place the twister. I'm looking at you, SK, but hey, it's a strategy that works. And I like it for that reason. Ali as well, Juju as well. It's a very Juju-friendly map. And it's about that timing of the draft as to when you go for it. You do not want to be going in too early, as the wall break can be very crucial. So you're going to have something in the back pocket, especially for an overtime scenario. Let's see what both sides are bringing in, but Willow's another great thrower that I think can get some good value on the defense.
Absolutely. I mean, Willow, I think, is one of the kind of givens here, whether it's banned or picked fairly early on, and then you can see it's banned out through Reject. Mina and Juju to go along with it as well, so clearly don't want to be facing that super heavy aggression from Mina or the throwers, as they've banned both of those out. A couple more of the most picked brawlers here. Cordelius, Otis, Ali, banned out by Reply Totem. So solid stuff from them. In a great position to get a nice early pick still though, but it seems like they might have wanted to go for one of these throwers, as Reject have targeted them quite heavily.
Well, Ollie's open here as well as Meeple, which could be something to cook. Larry and Laurie, I was going to say, yeah, they can get some great time on this particular map, but my third idea, probably still others, but being banned out, I think is probably the best next idea. Over to Reject then. Let's see how they feel. They do like a lot of stew here, and of course, you know, it's a very East Asia heavy brawler pick. But the Ollie, that's where I'm kind of feeling is going to give them a lot of goods and something to heal behind that potentially here. Hank is actually left open. It's surprising that both of these two teams don't tend to gravitate towards it that often, but we have the question mark on Hank as to how it's faring in the World Finals, simply because it's being played a lot, but is it getting the win rates to match?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, we should be looking towards a bit of aggression, assassin, tank, something like that, because when you see the two best throwers banned out and then Reply Totem pick the third, you're not left with too much. There's a few here and there that you could get, but I definitely thought that aggressive route would be a better one, and that's why they've gone with that shade. And it's a very East Asian pick as well, and everybody from that region's really competent on it. Meeple to go along with it as well. Who needs to be able to throw over walls when you can chew through them?
Exactly. Following up now, that Larry and Laurie are Reply Totem. I feel like it could be potentially a Gale, just for safety, as Reject have got that final pick, but shutting down this shade is really quite important. And we've seen Jackie and we were talking about Hank. It's definitely not a bad shout. It's not the biggest advantage, but it is going to help to be able to connect that bubble when the shade is in between walls. So it's what Reply Totem are feeling, but with the Max, I like it even more, honestly. Where Hank can be such an aggressive stance. It is already, but with that additional speed and the control of the Larry and Laurie, I'm liking how rounded Reply Totem's draft is so far.
Yeah, a lot of those kind of strong picks coming on the Reply Totem side. Max catapults the Hank into a position where he can do so much damage. And obviously those missiles that Hank shows out provide some healing as well in the kind of big moments of Brawl Ball. It's a necessity to have that ability. Ollie comes in, and you mentioned it from the start as something that these teams should look for. A hyper-aggressive stance then from Reject as they take both the Shade and the Ollie. And over the other side, we've got the Max and the Hank. So I'm expecting quite fast, scrappy gameplay here from both teams. But we'll see if the thrower can keep up with that, or if Reject will overwhelm.
I feel like if Reply Totem can really focus a lot of their attention to the Shade, get the Larry and Laurie down as well, as throwers can be really quite a good way to deter it, and the Hank really make things troublesome for Melty. Batman in the first tap onto Age Boy here. Shoes doing a good job on his left-hand side lane as well, pushing himself forward. Keeping Reply Totem really on the back foot as quickly as possible. A dash forward from Age Boy, a nice pace shifter. Will he get the kill onto Batman? He does, with the helping hand of Maori. Just getting the ball, he's got to keep that shade back at the same time too. That's where support helps out.
Yeah, really well managed that by Maori. Knew he couldn't go up or down, so just kind of grabbed the ball and moved it to the left-hand side away from both of them. Melty was doing a good job of picking up the other two, and a Meeple super to the right-hand side allows them to push up and force his Mar away, but now he's coming back in, Melty down the left-hand side with a super of his own. It was very aggressive and picks up the Larry and Laurie, and I think that's expected in that match.
Well, Maru's tapped up massively by Batman, who's really excelling in that regard. Shoe jumping straight in, does connect the hypnosis, this could be a walkthrough, it is! Rejects get the first sign of a goal.
Really nice stuff there as well, but a lot to answer it from Totem. They go the hypercharger straight off the bat, and Meeple gonna click the gadget and stop that Hank Bubble. He's not gonna make use of this super here while being in the hypercharge, but Maori, one of his own Melty, going for some big damage, doesn't manage to get too much. And now the triplets are down as Larry and Laurie hypercharge goes straight down the right-hand side towards Shu.
Melty's so dangerous on this shade pick. It's a troublesome thing. Reply Totem really don't know quite yet how to handle it. Meeple super down yet again. Off to the side. Maori trying to do his best to heal up at the same time as keep on the aggressive. As Maori's going to be coming in at a good time in terms of HP. Melty knows he's got to go and support Batman and getting these taps forwards.
Reject doing such a good job, and they're just going to leave that ball in the little pocket here on the right-hand side. And who can blame them for it with only 43 seconds left? Totem need to aggress and get something going. The lack of max speed and Larry and Laurie not having a nice time against anybody. He'll press the gadget on the left-hand side, give a bit more health to his twin. And Batman low, but Melty continuing this push up the right-hand side and keeping him safe.
25 seconds to go, and Reject are firmly in control. Batman's got a heal, but nonetheless, he can start to tap up Angel Boy, and that's two great taps at that. He's going to really struggle now to get back into the game with the time that's needed to get this goal. They've got to get the ball, it's still in the corner. Maori's making a run for it, but Melty goes straight back to deal the arms in his regard. Shu's going to be blocking this ball for his life, but Angel Boy escaped through. There's no time, surely. Oh, double hypnosis for good measure. And the game goes the way of Reject.
A much-needed big play there from Shu on the ollie, stopping that push in its tracks and not allowing them and forcing them to go to overtime. Big plays from Reject to keep these hopes alive and carry this momentum through from Gem Grab into Brawl Ball.
A lot of pressure now on Reply Totem, who just didn't really have an answer for Melty or Batman. They're going much more on the aggressive. Melty's slowed. A nice gadget there from Maru. Melty down to 416 HP. Batman putting the ball into the corner. It's a better start, but Angel Boy's got to keep alive now. Keep his team in position.
I mean, Angel Boy's having such a hard time through this mid against Batman, really finding it hard to get anything going. Melty will go forwards, get slowed down instantly, and a good snipe there from the missile. Maru goes into this pocket and another good kill, but Shu's still just sitting in this corner. Obviously, he's got the kickflip ready to go to hypnotize someone if they become aggressive. And Totem, yet again, just have to wait for another opportunity.
Yeah, the movable gadget as well can stop many goals. That refresh comes back into town, and Reply Totem will struggle. Again, coring the ball, it's just such a strong strategy. And the more that Reject is whittling things down, the more it goes into their favor. Speed out for Angel Boy. Maori swapping there as well, trying to get close to the goal, but Shu still says no.
Well, Batman still just waiting here. They're not rushing anything, they don't mind taking this to overtime. The kind of presence of the Larry and Laurie will make it a bit easier on them, but they do have some shorter range brawlers as well. Maru just having to play this defensive stance now, going back, slows Melty down, but he's got a hypercharge in hand and some great kills. And Maori once again keeping Reply Totem alive in these backlines. Shu grabs the ball and moves it up, will jump to the right-hand side and get the hypnotize and the kill onto Maori. And yet again, Reply Totem on the back foot.
Reject are so consistent, aren't they? And just whittling down the time, but staying in control all the way. Hypercharge now for Angel Boy, a face shift towards the ball. Shu's still lurking though. Melty has also got hypercharge, and on a shade, that's the dangerous prospect. Ball to the left now. Maru pushing it forward. They can't do much more than that. And straight away, it's back to defense for Reply Totem.
Very dangerous at that. And Melty comes forward. Maru, the last one alive, and the jump over the top from Shu will get this ball in the goal. And with 25 seconds left, Reply Totem need a fast response to be able to stay alive in this gem grab set, or they'll be going 2-1 down. Maru coming down the right side, trying to make something work. Triplets are down, and Melty trying to make the most of this situation. Down the right-hand side, Maru's going to be able to snipe one shot to Shu. The pass to the left, but a missed super there from Shu will leave him short of going in. A pass to the mid, and Maru should be able to slot this, and does. Reply Totem answer with 20 seconds on the clock and force the overtime.
The perfect time for speed from Angel Boy. Maru going straight into the eye of Melty. Maru's getting tapped. Batman still is so consistent in landing these taps. Ball pushed forwards, but it's not the best of passes into the hands of Shu. But it does mean that he's not able to shoot back in that meanwhile, but they've got to get the ball from the left to Maori.
Angel Boy doing a good job of getting the ball back into their possession and away from the opposing team, but Batman on the flip side, getting kill after kill. And now a hypercharge comes in, Shu gets slowed to force the kickflip to get the hypnosis and does get it. A super forwards and Shu will force it in. The set goes Reject's way. and they take their second set and the lead along with it.
Starting to look just a little bit bleak for Reply Totem. A little bit too late. I thought that might have been the moment we saw a turnaround in the set. And as quickly as that, Reject dampened the very idea. 10 kills for Melty, the same as Maru and Maori combined. 398 for Batman, who honestly, for me, excelled in that game. Those long-range taps, time and time again, just gave Angel Boy the toughest of tasks. And also that super through the walls every single time he was there. Reject are playing this perfectly.
Yeah, it really was incredible. I think those kind of kills are expected from the Shade in this matchup. You know, they took a very early Larry and Laurie pick, and they clearly wanted to go for a thrower. And Reject knew that fact, banning out two of the better ones that would have dealt, you know, I think better against that kind of aggression that Reject clearly wanted to go. And there's the winning moment, at least for the set. Reject looking happy, Melty with a smile on his face, feeling good about this. It started slow, but things have picked up very fast for the Reject side, and now all of a sudden they're 2-1 up.
Dangerous times now to move on to knockout. Bell's Rock, and a map that may and could very well be the final one. Reply Totem C of 2025. It's now or never, taking it all the way to the 5th and final set, or Reject will secure this victory and move on to day 3. Pressure, it's got to be getting to them at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're kind of facing defeat like this, going out way more prematurely than your team should be. And I think that goes to say for both of these teams, whoever exit here, it's a premature loss for them to be going out of the competition. But I think Reply Totem coming into this one as the favourites, not sure if that's just because of how powerful EME have been throughout the past few events, or just because we kind of expect them to be able to win this matchup against the East Asian #2 seed. But Reject have come out swinging. It took a little bit of time for them to get going, but Reply Totem do look a little bit scared now.
It's shaky, for sure. No, I got to bring back around the question, have we underestimated Reject? You know, the community, again, surely all eyes were on Zeta and CR coming to this one. But Reject have been cooking this year long. And for me, I've always had my eye on them, but I still felt like maybe, just maybe EMEA Strava would be able to carry them through if nothing else. That's kind of where East Asia's the weakest. But so far, Reject have just had the ice in their veins. They've been so calm and collected throughout this series. Bans are in. It's going to be Kit, Gray, and Gene for Reject. Doug, Ollie, and Byron for Reply Totem. And the first pick is Mina.
Yeah, both teams kind of want the opposing side's cheese to be out of the way. You know, Doug, in certain situations, can be a really difficult brawler to deal with in knockout. Kit over the other side as well. We've seen Angel Boy play this brawler a few times very successfully throughout this weekend. Mina comes through as the first. I like it. It's an unconventional Bell's Rock pick in terms of, like, the type of brawler, but it's just so strong at the moment.
Over to Reject then. Let's see how they're feeling about this one. Tick. I was thinking throwers. It's definitely on the horizon. Yeah, Tick first pick. Can't complain about it. But it does have a lot of weaknesses in knockout, especially. I've always been a little bit on the fence. When you're on your own in those final moments, you can't really clutch up if you're a Tick, or very rarely so. But I tell you what, at the World Finals, I would love to see it. How are they going to combine with this RT? Sun's been mentioning it a lot, and we have not really seen it too often, but now coming through for Reject in the final hour.
Yeah, I mean, when you've picked a thrower as your first, you need to be quite cautious, especially when the opponents have got that aggressive brawler in Mina early on. You need something that's going to be able to defend your thrower. If they continue to just go aggressive brawler after aggressive brawler, you're going to be overwhelmed. So RT doing that perfectly. As I've said a few times throughout this weekend as well, RT is the perfect balance of aggression and passiveness. You've got the long-range capability to mark people up and deal extra damage. Towards the end of the rounds in knockout, you just drop your legs and deal massive amounts of damage at close range. Angelo goes the way of Reply Totem, and that's a solid brawler to have as well. The range, obviously, really good. No matter what gadget you take, I think it's pretty valid. Getting you out of sticky situations with a jump or the piercing shot can get some unexpected kills.
I can't help but think back to the LCQ last year where Angel Boy absolutely went to town with Angelo, rather. And it's a tough brawler to make work. Yeah, it's in the name. Tough brawler to make work, but I mean, it can get so much value. You need a long-range sharpshooter into the RT. And Brock to open things up also. That's the rounded comp the Reply Totem are going for. But Reject, one final pick coming in. It could potentially, yeah, Gust coming in for Reject. Again, more additional range. This is going to be a real tough one for Reply-Totem. They've got to overcome their mental demons now. They've got no choice but to take this set and go to a 5th, but for Reject, they are looking to tie this up here.
Absolutely. I mean, really solid draft from both sides. The Brock is going to be wanting to break up a lot of those walls and force the Tick to be out in the open. A really difficult situation for Reply-Totem to be in, but if they break it up, it kind of hangs the Mina out to dry, but at the same time, they do have that kind of mobility along with the Mina that can still kind of able to move around out in the open.
I'm hearing there might be a redraft on stage, so we'll just hang tight until that does come through. Legendary drops all around, it seems. Credits all top out. Otis. I mean, it's pretty good.
We take those. We absolutely take those. Can't complain. A little star power. You know, when I see myself get coins and credits and stuff, and then see these guys pulling these kind of things, I'm like shedding a few tears, to be honest with you. But at the same time, my account's probably got all the star powers. So.
Well, I mean, I was about to say it probably hasn't. Actually.
Yeah, I did. No, actually, very recently I did manage to get max. I managed to get all the hypercharges. I'm just incredibly poor now. I've got no gold.
Well, for Reply-Totem, this may go for or against them. You know, it's that sort of thing where downtime can work sometimes for a team, but for others, it just kind of only makes it worse, as I'm sure they kind of want to get into it. Reject, though, have got the momentum at the moment, so to slow them down wouldn't be the worst of things. I do feel like I do prefer the Reply-Totem draft. Again, that Tick is going to be great for control, but as the Brock really starts to open up the map, they can just get one single kill on anyone. It's going to be better for Reply-Totem if they're playing into that Tick, especially towards the final moments, and capitalize down on it. But Angelo, at this moment in time, you know, if you're nervous on any level, it's going to show through.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm honestly quite neutral on the draft overall. I think that both sides have got the benefits, and some things are going to hurt them. You know, when you break it up with the Brock and you've got a Mina, yes, she's got the mobility to be able to do a lot of the moving about and evading the shots anyway, but you know, you're kind of equally hurting your own side and the opponent's side, taking the throw out of the mix a little bit. But I think for Reply-Totem's side, they've just got to make sure they're not caught in some really tough positions early on, because if they lose this first game, I think their heads are going to drop even further than what it seems they already have, and they're going to be in a really tough position to drag this one all the way back.
Again, just to reiterate, players are not in and are doing a redraft as we speak, but should shortly be underway. And again, I cannot reiterate the importance of this set for Reply-Totem. This could be, for them, a winning moment, a surviving one, and that, or it could be the end of their 2025 journey.
Well, a quick break with the rocket fuel for Mario over to this right-hand side, getting a bit more wiggle room for Mario, and he's not going to be running that jump, the piercing shots there, so maybe a few surprise kills that shouldn't be kills here and there. Shoot, getting hit by Angel Boy there, and he's trying to get aggressive, but they are stopping him a little bit now. Good tap from Mario will leave them susceptible as Melty low in the back lines, and Angel Boy slides in and gets the kill. All three Reject members have been in a rough position all round long, and now pushed all the way back into their spawn with nowhere to run.
Batman's solo here, but trying to do his best to heal up, to at least get something for the next round if they're going to fall here. There's still time to make this a 2 versus 2. Maori's with the Rocket Rain, does choose to use a Rocket Fuel gadget there just to ensure that this is going to be a round that goes Reply-Totem's way. Going to try and farm the Tick as well for extra style points as well here. Maori might even get a hypercharge just shy, but nonetheless, that was a great display. That's what happens when you're able to make it a 2 versus 3 at that earliest possible moment.
You know you've done well in a round when you're farming a brawler at the end. That's how I look at it, at least. You know, you're not scared of losing it. You can just try and get your supers, build up, and have an even better next round. Angel Boy, he's kind of shown, you know, don't be too aggressive here, as Batman's there waiting for him, ready to mark him and get those shots in. He's not going to have as good a matchup on that side as he has on the previous ones. The rocket fuel goes in, tries to keep Batman low, but doesn't quite find the connection. But more of these walls are dropping in the back lines, and Maru forced to place this super on the right-hand side because he is marked up. It could be great shot as he pierces through. The head placed down to try and keep Batman in the mix, but they keep going forwards, and Reply-Totem showing no signs of stopping.
Nice windmill gadget there from Angel Boy. Knew it was time to get back. They has given up some ground. Reject pushing themselves forward. As a result of that, Gust shielding also. Ooh, big taps onto Maori there into the mid. Melty knows he's got to bring his team forward. Rocket Brain potentially inbound here for Maori. It's going for Melty. Shoes in the middle of it all. Low HP. Shoes throws out the head, taken care of immediately. It's going to be a tough spot here for Regis to get out.
Angel Boy's really low though, and Maru was the only one alive left. That's going to be a really good answer from Reject after that first game. But look how much of the map's broken up. Shu forced to play the right-hand side where these unbreakable walls are, but you can't forget that Maru has this gadget and the capability to snipe him through.
Now the super for Maori as they swap lanes. Angel Boy staying on Shu. It's down to Reject to protect him in that regard. Another great tap from Maru. And now Hypercharge is inbound. Another winnable gadget will keep Angel Boy safe and sound. Batman goes down. It's a 3 versus 2 now. The Fly Totem looking in control of this one. Maori healthy. Melton's going to fall down here. Surely once the shield is dissipated. And it is a very important game for EMEA. And Angel Boy says, start getting loud.
Much needed support for Reply Totem now. They've been down throughout the majority of this match now and need the momentum to get back onto their side. And you know when Angel Boy's getting hyped, he's going to play well. And the rest of Reply Totem and the fans here in Stockholm really need to get behind him.
Reply Totem need this, not just to stay alive, but to gain back some valuable momentum and the mindset to be able to go into a 5th set for a potential winning one. It's been a while since they've looked at themselves. This is the best so far. Let's see, now on a defensive position, the Tick going to be able to control for Reject for now. They might need to swap lanes to get Angel Boy back on that left side. It looks like that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, just needs to be on that Tick. He's got the ability to avoid those shots so much more easy than any of the other brawlers on the side of Reject. But Batman doing a good job of following him around. Totem not putting enough pressure on to force them to be in these unfortunate lanes. And Melty just pushed back on the right-hand side. Good piercing shot there by Maru, and Angel Boy finally finding the matchups that he wants.
Yeah, great Master Fletcher, D'Angelo, but Angel Boy all the wimble again. Just in the nick of time, should take care of the Tick head, 620 HP. And Angel Boy gets back. Shu there, a lovely last stand, just in the nick of time, but oh, another extension from Maru. It's down to just Angel Boy and Maori, but Batman falls 2 versus 2 now. Melty's low, Rocket Rain, he's able to avoid it for now, but this is what I mean. In 1 versus 2, what can the Tick do? Around another one for Reply Totem.
I mean, that's about as good as they could do from that situation. It looked like Reject were about to start running away with it, but some lovely plays from Reply Totem keep them in the lead here in Knockout. The first round went their way, and now just one more will drag them to a set number 5. And Angel Boy, that confident, not even got the lane he wants, and he's pushing up the map.
Yeah, great taps from Maru is going to allow for it. Again, the windmill gadget from Mina is so strong. You can get to this position forwards and then protect yourselves. Batman low, he drops the legs just to try to stay alive. He's going to fall regardless. And Angel Boy evades the mines. It's time to take care of Shu. 3 versus 1. Surely Melty can't do this alone. And Hypercharge is inbound. He's surely going to go into the corner to fall. Reply Totem, get it! It's the set. We're going the distance.
Totem support absolutely popping right now. And Reply Totem in a great position to bring this one back. Incredible performance throughout Knockout there. The mobility that Mina brings, Tick just couldn't do anything about it, and neither could the rest of them. Maru is 6 flying under the radar, and Angel Boy only with 2, but controlling so much of that pressure and allowing the rest of Reply Totem to rally behind him. Over the flip side, 2-2 and 0, not the performance that Reject will have wanted, and definitely not the one they'll want just before going into a very decisive set 5.
As soon as I saw that Tick first pick, I always say that it's a good thing because many players do rate it, but I always have that reservation. What happens if, with brawlers like Mina, you have to push forward, be aggressive? It's Reply Totem doing their best to hang on, but going into a 5th and final set, you need moments like that to give yourself the best possible chance, because so far Rejects have been fully in control in my opinion.
Absolutely, and you can see through those replays of the cams as well, Drage and Angel Boy hyping up the crowd, getting them to get behind them. Because this team is one that massively thrives off the back of having that support and having that energy. You could see throughout the LCQ when Angel Boy was getting the crowd behind them in those kind of really pressing situations where they're almost dropping out the entire competition. It makes them rally, it makes them play better than ever, and that's what they need right now. Reject needs some more of that themselves from the crowd as well.
Speaking of LCQ for Reply Totem, you know, who can forget a winning golden ticket match versus Team Electros. But TOTEM almost got swept and then reverse swept the entire thing. They are able to handle pressure. Frazier himself said to me as well, like, you know, they were able to come together and stay calm in those moments where it all seems so hard to overcome. They've been able to take it the distance, and that makes me feel like they might just do this. But it's going to be a really tough ask for me. The Ring of Fire for Hot Zone as the last map in this series. We've seen already today with Revenant just how intense Hot Zone could be as a mode. It's got to be the best draft of the year for both of these two teams. They're going to come out of this one alive.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy the fact that one of these teams is going out of the competition in day 2. Extremely high caliber from both of them. And as you can see there, as you mentioned, Dark, as well, we are on Ring of Fire in Hot Zone, so slightly different to the map that we've just been shown, but a bit more range probably required, some more control of the center point. Gray played so much here as well to be able to teleport up and get so much percentage. The bans are in though, and honestly after being battered by Mina, I wouldn't want to play against her either. Juju's going to come down as the first pick then for Apply Totem. The bans of the Mina, as I said, the Crow and the Finks from Reject. Over the other side, the Ali, the Kaze and the Kenji banned from Apply Totem. So Reject's game plan was clearly go very aggressive on this map. And Apply Totem have tried to say no to that the best they can.
And Juju can get some great value. I mean, able to walk on water, able to get additional range from the bushes. She's got so much to her kit, and with the hypercharged addition now, she's been elevated forwards. I'm looking here as to what Reject might be feeling. Berry, and that could spell potentially tanks here. It's a dangerous prospect. I'm looking towards the Hank as maybe a combination idea. Charlie could be a follow-up pick in that third and final position if they want to go for it. But certainly, whenever there's a barrier in Hot Zone, it means objective and staying alive, and that's definitely a concern, surely, for Apply Totem here.
Absolutely. I mean, Meeple's still on the board as well. I don't think we forget this one. The capabilities of being down the lanes, shooting through the walls, being aggressive and being able to do more of the same, and the hypercharge incredible as well. They've got a healer and they're going to double down. They're going to go with the Pam. Really nice combination there as well. That's going to be so much healing on that side. It's going to be really difficult to break them off that map, especially with the Juju. When you're looking at that brawler, you don't think, oh, you know, that's going to have massive amounts of DPS. It's going to be able to deal with healers. So I'm a little worried about where Apply Totem are going to go from here. They're going to need some more DPS in my eyes.
Big time. It's got to be a real focus there. Could even be a B, comfort picks for sure, or maybe even a Lu if they need to be able to freeze out their opposition. But it's now a concerning thing with double healer. You've got to really double down onto that DPS. Maybe even Colette, who knows? Let's see what they're feeling. It is going to be the Lu. I quite like it. I think that's the way forward for Apply Totem, not only to be able to freeze out the opposition, but to be able to then have some objective control and allow those ice rinks onto the map.
I think it's good because, you know, you're looking at those two brawlers that Reject have gotten, thinking they're probably going to take a tank or something aggressive to go along with it. So you need the brawler that can say no to that, you know, preemptively. The Lu being there, being able to get so many supers, not just off the Pam, but off something aggressive if they do go it. So I like that from Apply Totem, a great pick. And they're going to take the Frank as well, the tank to deal with most tanks.
But Reject get the final say. That's the worrisome thing. Whenever there's a Frank on the map, it's like, you know, it could be hard countered here.
They can just not go a tank, and then they're going to be in a bit of a tough spot, I think.
B could be an answer for it, just to really focus their attention. They've got double heals, but they haven't really got anything to be able to really answer it just yet. Otis as well is not banned out here. I mean, that's kind of where I would be thinking. Chester, it's definitely a good brawler, one that I think has been a bit underrated in this event, to be completely honest. It's still very, very good into tanks.
Yeah, I really like the Chester. You just got to hope that you get the right super at the right time against some of these brawlers, and especially in a decisive mode and set like this one. The winner of this will go through to day 3 of the World Finals. The loser will be knocked out of the competition entirely. A big one for both of these teams who are very deserving of advancing, but only one can.
One set to decide it all. Who is it going to be? East Asia or EMEA to proceed to day 3? In we go. Hills lit to the map. Immediately so from Batman. Invisibility for Maori, who's forcing himself on that right-hand side. But look at this. A big push from the left. Pushing Shu and Melty into the center together. Angel Boy, it's got Gadget here. Could really go to town.
Yeah, I mean, Angel Boy will take the shots off Pam all day rather than fighting Shu in his face. A loose super comes down and Batman will try go straight through that. Melty stunned out here and should be dealt with quite quickly. Really nice stuff, and another super to be thrown on as well. Should stop them from being on the zone until we see the Frank get back. Chester going super aggressive and can't get that kill. Batman now in a really tough space, and Maori gets the slows off the back of standing on that ground, on the water, sorry. And look at this positioning and percent from Totem.
Yeah, positioning of Dreams here with a hypercharge for Angel Boy. Prefer to keep the bush for now, but it's going to be there in the back pocket for whenever the time is to strike it. Massive amount of commitment there from Melty and Batman to secure him in that regard. I think the right time, considering the reply totem were really starting to run away with it, just short of 60% already.
Maori in the back lines has a hypercharge ready to go, but needs to get the super. Angel Boy now not in a position to do a lot. There's the hypercharge Pam super as well, providing some shields along the way, but the loot super will try and stop them in their tracks until Angel Boy can re-establish himself and get ready to fight. Here comes the double hypercharge to left and right. Angel Boy trying to pinch in the Gree in the back line, slowing down Melty, allowing Drage to get so much damage. I think that just clipped Batman there as well, and Shu in the back lines. All of Angel Boy's cover's gone, but you've got to question how influential that's going to be with only 20% left.
Mario with the hypercharge. Oh, the double connection! That's massive for Reply Totem, but they still survive and decide to reject. Mario gets to pick up 95% in climbing. Reply Totem should be safe and sound for now. They get a match point.
About as good as it can go for that composition. They've got to hope they can get the same start again, get full control and a 30% lead before Reject even get going. Very similar to what we saw in the heist. And Reject need to switch on, because if it goes like that again, they're going home.
Reject need to go back in terms of their mindset to how they were at the beginning of this series, when they were much more consistent. Great gadget there from Angel Boy to start things off early. He's already got a super. The healing station will ensure the survivability, but Reject has done pretty well in meanwhile, just staying on the zone. Reply Totem as close to the mark.
They really are. That's 30% the other way this time, and Angel Boy trying to go really aggressive. A sweeper backwards from Batman will keep him alive for now, but Angel Boy throwing down the hammer, gets the trade. Not really what he wants in this situation when it's so far behind in percentage. Gree placed down, and that's going to be dealt with quite quickly. Maybe a little bit of a premature placement on that. Batman, hypercharge ready to go, and Angel Boy pops one of his own just in case he came towards him. But a little bit of a waste from Angel Boy, and so many heals provided by Batman.
Yeah, Batman just chose to go defensive with that as well, which I think was a wise choice, considering that the Reply Totem were expecting, I'm sure, the opposite. Maori then popping gadget, then getting the additional speed of the water, also landing some shots down, getting back to support Maori, who gets a lovely pick up there on that left-hand side. That brings Angel Boy forward, and he's going to be dangerous in this position.
Yeah, he's hitting so many shots. Maori down the right-hand side has the hypercharge, throws it onto Batman. Shu might be able to deal with it quite quickly. The hypercharge Pam turret to the right-hand side keeps them both alive. Batman will get some heals of his own going as well, but we're back evens in terms of percentage, about 60 apiece.
Angel Boy goes down, wastes super in the process. That could be devastating. Reject are bringing this back in a nice way. Hypercharge will immediately connect with Melty. Massive for Maori, but Melty still survives on. They need the Fruit of Frank, the HP soak needs to come in full force here. Bring Repotos back in business.
Gonna say Maru can't be far off another super and gets him. Melty might be stunned out here, percentage very similar again. Maru and Batman having the thrower off on the right-hand side, and a super from Maru, stopping them in their tracks once more as they retake the lead. Angel Boy down the left-hand side, super here as well, but a hypercharge right gives so many heals, and it's neck and neck going into the last portions.
A massive moment for Angel Boys with the hypercharge as well. At the moment, Batman and Melty are doing their best, but it is so close. Reply Totem taking no chances to get on this loop prematurely. Batman with huge heals, Shu surely going to fall to this right-hand side, and it does. It's Reject on the zone and trickling it up in terms of HP, but Maori, and Maori gets it! A 1%! It's going to be Reply Totem that get it! The EMEA hammer slams down to secure a second nail in the East Asia coffin!
Incredible from Reply Totem. Reject with heads in hands, devastated as their journey is cut short at the 2025 Brawlstars World Finals. Reply Totem hold on by a slither.
What